We are free, we are limited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are limited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are limited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are limited. Right now, right now.
I love that we're on a great spiritual journey this summer. We are aligned with this beautiful booklet, Living Abundantly, Embrace Your Unlimited Good. There are copies of this on the welcome table if you haven't got one yet. Now, today is Step Out in Faith. We as Unity people of Truth students, we know how important faith is to our journey. But how many of you thought of it as part of your abundance? Well, that's what we're going to explore today. And we do it because, well, we're living abundantly. This booklet is our guide as we go through these summer talks. And Reverend Karen Bromstead is a contemporary of mine. She has an alternate ministry in North Carolina. She's a beautiful woman. And this is also in your bulletin, in the points to ponder, so you can go back and reflect it or just open it in the book. She says here, we all have times when we're deeply changed because we said yes. And that we took the first step in faith. Faith allows us to spread our wings and fly. There is little in life that has brought greater joy or stretched me in new ways than that of my life as a minister. The greatest joys of life sometimes found in the unknown, in the possibilities, in the pure potential of what is yet to be seen. I know that leaping boldly and courageously into the next exquisite adventure of life is yet another invitation to step out in faith. And I can hardly wait to see what happens next when I step out in faith. This is so valuable because, as we know, life is a journey. Life's full of all kinds of experiences. The joys, the sorrows, the challenges, the great successes. And life is also, although I haven't experienced for quite a while, times when things are a little neutral or boring. Anybody been bored recently? It doesn't happen very much for me, but the human journey is full of all of our life experience. So when we're in our life and we're ready and open to something new, when we're identified a new path, a new career, a new home, a new way of being, maybe more peaceful, more serene, more loving, more open. It might require a change in how we are approaching our life. And that's what we're kind of looking at here. I want to continue with this great wisdom from Dr. H. Emily Cady. She wrote Lessons in Truth. Emily Cady was a doctor in New York in the 1800s. I think that is just amazing. So this is obviously a very intelligent woman and someone who is really tapped into truth. Here she says, faith does not depend on physical facts or on the evidence of the senses, because it is born of intuition or the spirit of truth, ever living at the center of our being. So faith doesn't have anything to do with what is in the physical. faith doesn't depend upon what we smell or see or hear, touch or taste. Faith, as Charles Fillmore says, is the perceiving power of the mind to shape substance. It's what comes before the manifestation. And what Emily Cady is guiding us here is to turn to the center of our being, to listen for that guidance. It's powerful, and it's part of our knowing as true students to identify that voice within. And it requires us to create, establish, and maintain a conversational, relatable connection with the God of our understanding, with our Christ consciousness, with that principle, with that source. We need to be in relationship. Otherwise, how are we going to hear the intuition? That spirit of truth is always within us. Now, this is in the Bible as well. This is Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. Our master teacher, Jesus, says, Jesus told them, because your lack of faith, I tell all of you with certainty, if you have faith like the grain of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. And nothing will be impossible for you. Now, on one side, we might say this is a huge claim. A teeny bit of faith and I can move a mountain. Well, mountains move easily. In fact, I want to share with you that when I got my master's in spirituality at Holland Ames University, Matthew Fox's program, I took a class with a quantum physicist named Brian Swim. The class was The Cosmos' Primary Revelation. And in that class, my brain was blown away every single class session. In one of those experiences, Brian explained that geologically, from the Big Bang creation to now, mountains happen very late arrival in that creation. And what happens is mountains rise, erode away, and a new mountain comes up. And erodes away, and a new mountain comes up. And a new mountain, they erode. And so if you look at mountains on the scale of geological evolution, mountains gallop across the landscape. Mountains galloping. It's true. Having lived in Hawaii for 20 years, the Hawaiian archipelago goes all the way to Midway. And there are many little atolls that used to be huge mountains that eroded away. And then the hot spot moved and another one came up. And in the Hawaiian Islands, we know Kauai is the oldest of those, and it will be eroding away. And by the time the new one that's growing, that's just south of the Big Island, Loihi, the new island, by the time that breaks ground and you can have prime beachfront property on a brand new Hawaiian island, Kauai will be long gone. Mountains move. But I would say it's much harder to move my unforgiveness. It's much harder to release my sense of lack or separation to God than moving a mountain. And we have a choice. We have a choice to make of where we're going to focus our energy. If you want to move a mountain, you can move a mountain. But if you want to move yourself from fear to love, some say it's the longest journey we're going to take and the best one we can take. It's lack of faith. I'd say it's the lack of connection to the faith we have, because we have all the faith we're ever going to get. It's just turning on our faith. Let's explore this further. So, co-founder Charles Fillmore, this is beautiful. Whatever you form in your mind and have faith in will become substantial, will manifest. Then you should be on guard as regards to what you put your faith in. Yeah. Because what you plant is what you reap. If you plant a little fear, a little judgment, you're going to reap judgment and fear. If you plant love, you're going to get love. If you plant an idea of advancement, like, let's say, unconditional peace on earth. Big one, yes? Achievable, yes. And what it requires is stepping out in faith. We do not have to know how to achieve world peace. All we need to do is let our faith, even a mustard seed amount of faith, be aligned in that idea. And then we allow that peace to work in us. Because if we're truly holding an image of pure, unconditional peace globally, then where does it start? Right here. We've got our work to do. We've got stuff to do to be peace, to own peace, to drink peace, to feel peace, to allow peace. And if we have no idea what to do, all we need to do is go within and ask, what's next for me that I can do to birth peace now? And it's given. We'll be given exactly what we need. It might be making a call. It might be serving others. It might be, who knows? Peace isn't for the meek and mild of heart. It's for the most courageous heart that there is. And this brings us to this beautiful wisdom from Martha Smock, who's written many books. I love Martha. She was the head of Daily Word for many years. And here she says, to have faith is to be willing to work. To be willing to give your time and energy to accomplish that which needs to be done. Faith is the working power of the Word. So if we're going to live abundantly, if we're going to embrace our unlimited good, it only happens by us choosing it. That's why I said it in our Memorial Day remembrance, let's hold all those we know in love and light. Not in sorrow or pain or regret. We've got plenty of that. More love, more light. Because I believe that will align with my desire for peace. And that doesn't mean I'm wrong because I get angry, or wrong because I yell, or wrong because I have a fit. And believe me, I get angry. I'm wrong quite a bit. And sometimes I have fits. Ask Owen. There's a fit in the kitchen. We each have. And it doesn't have, yours may not be peace. Yours might be relationship with your family. It might be right work. It could be any aspect of your, it could be enlightened retirement. Whatever ours to be and have. And as true students, we get to decide what we're going to focus on, what we're going to put our energy on. Because Charles Kilmer reminded us that whatever we hold in mind and faith will be. So, what are we going to put our energy into? What are we opening ourselves to be available for? It could be just, I want to get to the end of the day and be grateful for that day. It doesn't have to be a great big thing. Oh Lord, keep me awake for the next hour. Because sometimes we get a little sleepy. It's ours. And this is why I'm excited about this journey, that if you choose to align with me in this living abundantly, we can bring in all these aspects of our journey to realize that we are right where we're supposed to be. The right time with the right people right now. And that's stepping out in faith. Thank you.
Step out on the water, release your faith. Every step is stronger. Step out on the water.